Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Nuget Package. This is our ASP.NET Core tutorial. So part of this video, I am going to create one web API using Visual Studio Code. And the database, already I am having the SQL Server database. And the database connectivity, I am going to use this ORM entity framework. So as I mentioned, I am already having database. So I am going to use this database first approach. Here I am listed out all the steps we can do one by one. Before that, I want to convey one information. In my last video also, I am already created on web API. So that time I am used Visual Studio 2022. So in the Visual Studio, we have the templates for creating any files. So in the VS Code, we mostly depending on the command prompt. So let me start my first step. So if you want to create any .NET Core application, first you should install this .NET Core SDK in your machine. So I am already installed in my machine. I am not going to install. So in case if you want to verify whether it's installed or not, so we have the command is .NET and version. So see now it's showing the version is 6.0.301. So I am already have the .NET Core. So the next step is we have to create our web API application using this below command. So see the command .NET new. So after that we have to provide the tag name. So as I mentioned, I'm going to create the web API. So the tag name is web API. So let me open the Visual Studio Code and I'm going to the terminal. Let me open the new terminal. First I need to select the folder path. I am going to use this F colon only. So inside the F colon I am already have the folder is LAN core. Here I am going to create one more folder, product API. So I'm going to create file in the Visual Studio Code. So I'm providing this VS. So now let me copy this path. Here I'm going to select the path. Now I can execute the command. So already we have the command .NET new web API. So you can see the progress. So look like our application is created. Let me go to the folder. See now the required files are generated. Now we can open the application here, file and folder. So our folder is product API VS. So here we have to give like yes, I trust the authors. Okay, fine. So in the right side you can see the application product API and see the folders like controllers and properties, app settings.json and our program.cs, and also the default model. The weather forecast was available, and also in the controller we have the default controller, weather forecast controller. So now I am going to run this application. So after that we can include this entity framework. For running this .NET Core application, we have the command is .NET run. See now our application is running and our URL is 7090 HTTPS URL. So let me provide here HTTP yes and the localhost. So the URL is 7090. Okay, fine. So in the .NET Core Web API, the Swagger is defaultly implemented. So let me enter the Swagger URL. See now. So we have only one default controller, that is weather forecast. That's the name is coming. So it contains only one get method. For testing this one, we can click this, try it out and execute. So it will return some values. So this is actually the method. So it's returning some value that only we are just verified in our browser. So the data are coming from this method only. So anyway, this is kind of hardcode value. But the real-time implementation, we need to connect the actual database. So as I mentioned, I'm having one SQL server. So initially I mentioned I'm going to use this entity framework database first approach. So I need to install this entity framework in our application. So let me stop the application. And one more thing, we have to enable two instance. So it's basically supporting for our Visual Studio Code development for the .NET application. The first one is C#. You just search it. The first one. So I am already installed in my machine. That's what we have. The option is uninstall and disable. If you are not installed, so just click and install in your Visual Studio Code. And the second one is Nuget Package Manager. So again this first one. So you have to install it. Okay, done. We have installed. Basically, it's supporting for installing this Nuget packages. So the step we have created the application and we run the application and also we have installed this extension. So let me move on to the next step. So for installing this entity framework, we have to execute this command. So the command is .NET tool install global .NET entity framework. So let me copy this command. Okay, the .NET entity framework is already installed. So for the testing purpose, I am already verified. So it's installed in my machine. And the second one is we have to include this package, Microsoft.EntityFrameworkCore.Design. Okay, this is done. So after that, we need to verify whether the entity framework is installed or not. So the command is .NET Entity Framework. So see now, so it's saying the Entity Framework Core.NET command line 6.0.6, the latest version of Entity Framework installed in my machine. So once it's done, we have to execute this scaffold command. So the syntax is same, almost we used in this Visual Studio 2022, but some difference was there. So let me copy this one and I will explain. So the starting we have to provide this .NET Entity Framework. So in the Visual Studio 2022 we have to use like scaffold then hyphen dbcontext. Here the command is dbcontext scaffold and then we have to pass our connection string and we have to mention the provider name Microsoft.EntityFrameworkCore.SqlServer. At the end we have to provide the directory where actually we need to generate the output files and also our dbcontext file. So if you give like this output-dir, it will generate like this. In some cases, I want generate the db context only in the folder. Other files I want to create in the outside means. So I need to provide this command. So context directory. So anyway, I need to create my all the output files also in the same folder. So I'm going to use this command. So at the end, I will share all the commands in the description so you can use in your project. Okay, unable to find the provider assembly Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server. So we need to install this package. So actually there are two ways for installing these packages. One is like we have installed this design, the same way we can install. Otherwise, we already have a Nuget package extension. So using this Nuget package extension also we can install. So let me show you. Just to press Ctrl Shift P. So here we have to select this Nuget package manager, add packages. Okay, in the search box you have to type like a entity framework. See, all the packages are coming. Entity framework core, relational abstraction, analyzer, SQL server. So let me select this SQL server. If there is any dependency, it will install automatically. So we can install the latest one. Okay, it's done. So see, there are unresolved dependencies. Please execute the restore command to continue. Okay, the restore is completed. So otherwise, we have to provide the option called .NET restore. Basically, this command also restore the required packages. Okay, great. So once it's done, we have to execute our scaffold command once again. So the build is started. Actually, we don't have the folder in models. So this command basically will create the folder and also it will generate the required files. So it's saying the security warning. Yeah. So now look like our DB context is created. So in the DB context, we have the objects and also the connection string is included. So the same message we already seen in the Visual Studio also. So we all know we need to move this connection string into our app settings.json. So we can do the thing. So the connection string. So here we need to provide the value. So let me cut this one. And I'm coming to this app settings.json. Okay, this is fine. Let me remove the thing. Here actually I'm using this intelligence, C# intelligence. So it's showing the options. So in case if you are not installed this extension of C# in your machine, this feature basically not available. So don't forget to install this extension C#. So if you see here also, they will provide the complete information. So this is the lightweight development tool. Also it's supporting for the debugging, support for .NET Core, and supporting for the JSON related things, and it's available for Windows, Mac, also Linux. Okay, done. Now we have included in the app settings.json. So the next step is we have to include in the middleware for the DB context. So let me come here and builder.services.add DB context, and our DB context name is LANDB. So okay, it's not coming. The problem is it's available in the different namespace. So let me copy this one. We can add the reference. And also I'm going to add one more namespace for using this Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Okay, fine. Now we can include our DB context. For this database context, we have to provide the connection string as the input. So object.use SQL Server. So inside that we have to pass the connection string. So builder.configuration.get connection string, and our connection string name is already we have declared in this app settings. So this is all about the configuration. Now I am going to create my first controller. So in the Visual Studio, we have the templates. So here we don't have the templates. I think there is no possibility. If I know, definitely I will cover in my next video. So my controller name is product controller. .cs. Okay, it's created. And now I'm coming to the sample controller file. I'm copying the whole content and I'm including in this place. So instead of this weather forecast, I'm going to provide the name as product. Okay, this is done. Actually, the declaration is not required, and in the constructor also I need to change the name. This logger also it's not required, but we are going to use the database context. So again, the problem is we have to include the namespace. That's why it's not coming. Okay, now it's fine. So it's providing some suggestions. Yes, dbcontext. So let me inject here the constructor. Now I'm going to setting the value. So this dot underscore dbcontext equal to. So we have done. And also we can change this get method. So let me provide the name is get all. Okay, fine. So I'm going to return the action result only. So basically this get method is for returning all the existing products. So this dot db context and my table name is product. I mean product here. So I have to take all the values. Now returning. So I just completed the changes. So let me verify whether it's returning the exact data from our database. For running the application, I already mentioned the command is .NET run. Okay, the localhost is 7090. Yes. See now, we have our product controller here, and it has only one function, this get all method. So we can verify. So I'm just to click to this execute. Yes, it's returning the data. So there are two records available, so it's just returning. So this is just an one get method. The similar way we can create the other methods also. And the next one is get by code. So here also we can change. Okay, fine. So instead of this to list, I'm going to use this first are default, and we need to pass the parameter and id equal to code. Okay, we have done. And also we can use this update and delete methods also. HTTP delete. And also we can include in the router also, otherwise it will throw the error. the product is not equal to null, then this dot underscore dbcontext and remove of product. So once it's removed, we have to return as true. If it's not, so I can return false. So this is all about that delete method, and the final one is the post method. So let me provide the name as create. Again, we need to mention our routing here. So HTTP post. So from body. So our class name is product only. Okay, we have it. And now here I am going to verify. First I am checking whether the value is available or not. In case it's available, I am just considering this is the updation. It's not there, I am going to consider as the new record. For adding this dot dbcontext products.add, and the one more option is update. So I'm just trying to update only one field, name, or else I can update the price also. So the identity column basically we are unable to update. At the end I am returning true. So basically we need to verify whether it's saved or not. We can use this try and catch block. For the time consumption, I am going to continue my testing. So again I need to run the command .NET run. Okay, this is fine. Again it's running the 7090. So let me refresh it. So see now in the product service we have four methods. One is for get all, and another is get by code. The third one is remove. The final one is for create. So we already verified this one, this get all method. So let me use the code and we can test the next function. So the ID is 1 and 2. Here I'm going to provide 1. Okay. So it's returning single object. So in case if I'm providing 2, so it's returning. Here I'm trying to remove the 1. So it's returned the response is true. Now if I'm going to the top and trying to execute the get all method. Okay, actually it's not removed. It's having some issue. Yeah, once it's saved, we have to give these save changes. It's not included. That's why it's not affected the database. Okay, fine. Again, let me run and we can complete our testing. Okay, again, I'm trying to delete the ID 1. Okay, it's done, so we can verify. See, now we have only one record. The final one is our post method. I'm not sure how actually I returned this one, so anyway we can test it. So the apple amount is 100, so it's just a product, so I'm just provided. So anyway we have to execute this getAll method, then only know whether it's added or not. Yeah, it's included. The ID is 3 and apple 100. So let me have the same value here. I'm to provide this ID also. So the price I am trying to give 105. So this is the update scenario. Again, I got the response is true only. So see, now the price value is updated. So now we have completed all the HTTP viewer. One is for get and another one is get by code, remove, and the post. In the post we have covered this put and post also. So hopefully you got some better idea about how to create the application using this Visual Studio and how to use the commands. So we have used n number of commands. So anyway, I will share everything in the description. So continuously, if you are doing some development in any of the application, you will also remember the commands. And the one more thing, don't forget to install this extension C#. So if you are not installed, it cannot give any suggestions. So you have to type everything manually. So if you are typing manually, you will face some camel case issue because it's not showing any error also while running time only. So we can see the errors. And also the steps, I will provide all the steps in the description, you can follow it. So before closing this session, I have to provide some information. So I am already created the web api using Visual Studio also. You may have the questions which one is better, and so my suggestion is like so I am coming from this .NET background, so initial day itself I am using this Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is really good. So only problem is, so if you are using this Visual Studio 2022, so it will occupy more space. It will create some performance issue in the machine. So this Visual Studio code is very lightweight, and so whatever it is we can do in the Visual Studio, the same thing we can achieve in the Visual Studio code also, but we are using this command prompt. Some features actually it's not available, but it's not that much important. And still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. And also we have recently enabled our membership, so if you really like to join in the membership, you can join. Thank you, thanks for watching.